Hey, everybody, welcome to week 6, chapter 6 of Waking Up in 5D. This chapter is called Language of the Fifth Dimension. Yeah. So, chapter 6 is about how language shapes perception, identity, and reality. The chapter invites us to notice the words we repeat, the stories we reinforce, and the subtle ways our speech keeps us in polarity or opens us into choice, ownership, curiosity, and grace. I have the awareness that, like, when we speak, like, it's called spelling because we're like casting spells, right? Like, what we say is so important, and our thoughts too. Like, it's just all like we're magnets drawing in what we think about, what we focus on, how we're saying it. Yeah, this was a good reminder for me to like get back in the practice of being very present and aware of my words. I've gotten into the practice of like being aware of my thoughts and what I'm thinking, but it's funny because I have gotten out of the practice of what I'm saying and speaking.
Mm,
So,
mhm. Yeah, it reminded me of the throat chakra, like in the
mm,
human design system. When we speak, it's our portal of manifestation. Like we're
mm.
creating reality through
Wow,
the
yeah.
sound, the actual vibratory tones that
Mm-hmm.
are coming through that chakra. And
Portal of manifestation.
a portal of manifestation. I'm aware of my throat because that's one of my active gates. It's one of my channels
Oh,
that
really?
is activated in my human design from my spleen, my intuitive knowing up through my throat, and then also my inner vision knowing to my throat is also connected. Those are the only two channels that I have, and they're both connected. So like how we manifest in 3D is through that tone, the vibrational state.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Tone came up in my household this morning with my mom, and
Like, don't use that tone.
she wasn't saying it to me. I was saying that to her.
Right.
And she said, I don't, because I voiced it back to her what it sounded like. And it was a very simple statement, but the tone of it had a particular energy to it. It's interesting how the tone in somebody's voice communicates almost more than the words themselves. There's like emotional layers embedded into the tone of what somebody actually means and their state of being. So I repeated the tone back to her, and it jarred her. It was shocking to her. And then she said, "Well, I don't even realize I'm doing it,
Mm.
speaking to you in that way."
Mm-hmm.
And to get my point across, I amplified it because actually, as a projector, that's what I do. I amplify the energy that's around me. And I kind of barked at her back. And I said, "Well, use your awareness."
Mm-hmm.
So that tone. And then she didn't talk to me for the rest of the morning.
Well, it's energy, right? Like, and like the words have certain frequencies too, and not just so like not just how we're saying things, but um like the energy of the word that we're saying, like etymology. I know I sometimes spend a lot of time looking up words and where they come from and like what they actually mean. Like the word weird is a good word. It doesn't mean a bad thing like it does now. Like when it first got created, it actually meant someone who was very spiritual and really tuned in and tapped in. And now it means something else. So it's just interesting how language has that with it too.
Hmm.
Um, in the practitioner or the participant guide, I have a little note in here that language creates atmosphere.
Mm. Yeah, that goes along with tone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the atmosphere
Mm-hmm.
of the words?
Mm-hmm.
Because it can hang on the air, even the way we speak or somebody speaks to us.
Yeah.
We feel it in our bodies.
Right. And so, you know how when you get stuck on a story and you keep looping the story over and over again, like then that becomes your reality kind of thing. Like when you repeat, what you repeat becomes familiar. What becomes familiar can feel true, even when it's limiting.
Yeah, and it can color how we perceive the present moment, like through that filter. Like
Yeah.
if we're just thinking about if I'm looping on something that feels heavy, then everything else in my field that is presenting itself, it's like if I'm sour, then I'm not necessarily going to see the actual possibility in the moment for certain
Right.
things.
Yeah. You're closing yourself off. Yeah.
Like
I
takes
know.
me out of the present moment,
Yeah. I hate it when something is sticking me.
looping the past or worrying about the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like what you're just saying, I liked the term you used, looping the past. Because I found even a connection in the last week being on vacation with a teenager all day, every day for a week. Um, there's a tone that comes with that sometimes, and
Hmm.
I tend to respond in a similar tone. And there is an awareness. I notice it, I feel it, and sometimes there's a struggle to get myself out of that tone when it's a tone I'm matching, but I don't want to. Um, and what you said, looping in the past, it's almost like I'm stuck in that past tone I've had before that I don't want anymore, or that I've felt from others, and that's the struggle. How do you get out of that loop and not match a tone that's there in front of you?
Yeah.
So any suggestions are great.
Okay. Um, I
Yeah.
find that the work that I do in energy really has helped me has helped that change become easier. Because the more work that I do with energy, when you're working with energy, you have to be so present when when that's a part of your being and how you're presenting yourself and showing up. So then I bring that presentness, that connected to everything, then, or I try to bring that to my whole life. So it's probably like when you're speaking with clients, Jackie, or when you're showing up to give a presentation, or when you're doing something in your professional life, you're probably in a different version of yourself in those moments, like a different energy of yourself in those moments. And so it's sort of like bringing that energy into your personal life and being aware of things, sort of like seeing things from like a different view instead of being so in it.
Mm.
Yeah, and then allowance is a big one for me. I like with my son practice like infinite allowance and grace. And I also practice boundaries with him. Like, and I do that with pretty much everyone in my life. Amanda knows. Like if that person is being an energy that I just don't want to be around and I can't leave the space, but they can, or I don't have to be talking to them, or I can take a break from them or create some space from them. I do that, but I'm honest about it and I let them know. And it's like, you can be an asshole, but you just have to do it in your room. You just can't do it right here. And when you're ready to not have that, then you can come be around me again. So, like, for you to be then also sort of orchestrating your boundaries and what you want to be around and what's around you. And, I'm not, or it's like, when you're going to use that tone, or if you're going to be that, I don't know if you're talk to your kids like this, but if you're going to be that energy, I'm not going to really respond to that. So if you want me to answer you, or if you want to, you know, keep going with this, then you're gonna have to change, to like make that person responsible for their own energetic footprint. Because I don't think we know that we have that. I don't think us walking around as normal everyday people get that we have this energetic footprint that, bumps up against others, especially when we're in a family or in a close friendship or relationship or something. Like my energy is gonna feel yours and be around yours and integrate, with yours. And please be aware, like Amanda said with her mom, like use your awareness. And some people don't have that awareness. And I think that that is a possibility with others too. Like my dad, he can be very negative. And so there are times that we have to remind him, like, but he's been like that my whole life. So, and I don't see that changing too much. And so I'm not sure, like, maybe he's just not woke, like maybe that's not for him in this lifetime. Yeah. And that awareness is a choice too, right? Like if he wanted to choose it, or if somebody wanted to choose it, to me it seems like then you would choose it, right? Just like, yeah.
Yeah, and then what was I was contemplating was how does traumatic brain injury play into this when somebody's prefrontal cortex is damaged and that self-awareness center is glitching out and they
Mm-hmm.
actually don't have the neural pathways to self-reflect.
Mm-hmm. But with neuroplasticity, which what they know now is those things can change in the brain. Like we can rearrange how the brain pattern is functioning. It takes
Oh,
practice and a lot of work, and someone has to want to change it.
yeah. What's that saying of not chicken or the egg or double its edged sword? No, it's not that. It's like the very necessity that would need to take place for somebody to have the volition to want to change is gone in TBI. It's it's kind of a paradox.
Yeah.
It's like they can't help themselves to help themselves.
Yeah, yeah, they'd have to go seek a practitioner or a therapist to help them.
Yeah, and oftentimes in reading about different scenarios and circumstances, like a lot of people who have successfully received the help and the neurotherapy have had loved ones advocate for them,
Yeah.
like adamantly, and
Yeah.
doing
Like, no, you have to get some
intervention,
help. Yeah.
intervention,
Yeah.
interventions. Even I've listened to podcasts where this guy down in Texas travels around the country to help families do TBI interventions to get them the help.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I like this quote from the book. Language is a strong and significant key to creating more mastery at every level. Your language be open-ended. Oh, let your language be open-ended without preference or prejudice, so you can speak the language of the fifth dimension. And then she, in the chapter, goes on to talk about hear how often you're using the words like I can't or should or have to or wrong or why me. And then you begin to notice that your internal dialogue sounds like inherited family, culture, fear-based programming. Were you going to say something, Jackie? No? Okay. And then you become curious and less reactive. You get better at asking questions instead of trying to force an answer. And then you start to hear the difference between ego language and grounded heart-led language. It's sort of too like tying in that the God choice and the not God choice, right? Like the God choice would just be you staying in your presence and having the energy and the words and the language of love and space and ease and joy. So when someone else is coming in with all of that other not God choice language and energy, then in the 5D, you're staying present in the unconditional love and the ease and all of that, even though they're like screaming at you. It's sometimes not easy. I mean, it's a practice, right? Like anything else, it's a practice. And then she talks about too how when you're in the 4D, um, you're like in the emotions of it. Oh, where was that?
Hmm.
Hmm, I can't remember what that was, but
Yeah,
I
I
thought she talked about that in this chapter.
she did. On page 119, I did star something about emotions related to that. In the last paragraph, you don't deny your emotions. Instead, you validate them by giving them a voice just 3 times and no more. Then choose new words. Decide that duality is not bad, just a choice.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think,
I also recall being in a leadership program through Next Level, and they were training us on language and had us rewrite our pattern with using the word have to
mm-hmm,
within the class, within the
mm-hmm,
workshops, and replacing it with I get to.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's such a different energy around I get to, more of like, oh, I have this opportunity, and coming from a place of gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah,
Oh, I get to go wash the dishes. Like, how lucky am I that I have 2 functioning hands and I can stand at the sink? I get to
yeah,
do that. And I have clean running water and plenty of soap and scrubbies.
yeah,
I get to.
thank
I
you.
get to do that.
Yeah,
It's a different energy around get to than have to as a
right.
burden or a should.
Well, have to takes you out of again, that being, that godlike being, that connection to God, because we're creators. And so if you say I have to, you're taking yourself out of creation. And then it's like something that's being put upon you, you know? But if you say I get to, then you're going back into I'm the creator of this. So if I don't want to and I'm stuck in have to, then what can I change about it? Right? Like if you don't like to do something and you don't want to do it and it's taking you into 3D every time you go do it, well then maybe you should ask some questions around this. Like, is this is this necessary for me to be doing? You know? Um I'm not a huge fan of cleaning my house. And so every once in a while, when it gets really dusty or if something's like really needing to be cleaned, I'll hire somebody to do it for me. Because I'd rather spend time doing something else. Because when I'm cleaning my house, I start to get like anxious because I have all these things going on in my head of what I could be doing with my business. And so it's like, okay, if I were doing those things with my business, then I get to hire somebody else. And maybe I have to work like an extra 3 hours a week or something to have the money for that or the budget for that or whatever. But, I think there are ways to create something different if we want to as well, remembering that we're the creator of it all.
Yeah, like have to is coming from a victim. Like it's you're put upon.
Right.
I
Yeah.
have to instead of empowered choice.
Right.
If I get to.
Yeah. So, what words or phrases do you say most often when you feel stressed, overwhelmed, disappointed, or afraid? Is there anything that comes to mind?
I think have to comes up a lot, or need to. The word need comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of the good, bad, right, wrong come up.
Yeah. Yeah, that polarity.
Mhm.
Also, should. How many times do we
Mhm.
should on ourselves? I should. I should. I should. Right?
Mhm.
Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Amanda?
Um, I've been noticing an internal dialogue as I bring my awareness to my language lately
Mm,
around the word hate, which is
Mhm.
surprising because that to me is a very strong word. And I've been catching myself like mumbling or grumbling. Oh, I hate this. I'm like, whoa, where's that coming from? I get to
yeah.
pause and pull back the reins sometimes. Like, okay, water holds memory, water is consciousness. And is that how I want to be speaking under my breath to myself, towards other people, towards anything? Just holding that level of vibration in my field. It's like, what is that creating or not? If
Right.
it's taking up the space of empowered choice
Mm-hmm.
instead.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and as I'm speaking about it out loud, it feels like bitterness and resentment are underneath that. And like unexpressed rage is where the
Well,
hate comes from.
yeah, and I wonder, I I've had a lesson in boundaries lately. And I wonder how much of that is like unexpressed or unacknowledged boundaries.
Yeah. Hmm.
How much anger and how much hate do we have because we haven't allowed ourselves to even even if something has occurred, you can go back. You can change the past with it and you can say, okay, I said yes at one point and it was a no actually, and I said yes and now it's a definite no. And you can just say that to yourself, like give your body and your cells
Mm.
that permission to change that energetic field around it all. And then it ripples out into the quantum field, and then it all gets rearranged because you're not observing it in the same way anymore. So it's like I get to change the whole picture of it all, the whole everything of it all. Because when you have a boundary, and even if, like I said, even if you're going to the past and saying that was not okay, you're changing like the universe that way.
Yeah.
Because then you're saying again, no, I'm the God creator, and whatever I did too to create that, like the whole Pono Ono prayer, like please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm responsible. I'll take responsible for my part in it. And I'll also say that yes or that no or whatever it was that I allowed to happen was actually not what I really would choose.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like the doorway to it loosening is acknowledging it. I've been playing with that. It's like, okay, the hate isn't wrong or bad. It's feedback. It's giving me information if
Yeah,
something is out of alignment in my fields.
exactly.
And I haven't been denying myself the feeling of hate. I'm actually feeling it
Yeah.
in that 4D state, and it moves instead of stuffing it or making it wrong or
Mm-hmm.
shaming myself for having that strong emotion. It's like, oh yeah, I actually do hate this right now. And now what?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now I can choose something different because it's feedback.
Yeah, because where in our lives does like hate and some of those, I'm gonna say quote unquote like negative emotions, where do those come from? Because they come from our hurt or our hurting.
Hmm. Yeah.
So sitting with it is brilliant and beautiful because yeah, then it gets to tell you what it's trying to say. Like, I'm trying to get you to realize that you're hurting in this way, or even that there's another choice, right? Like, it's trying to hit you on the head, like, hello, there's another McFly. Because you're not comfortable in the hate,
No, it's really uncomfortable.
right?
More uncomfortable than dislike. It's more extreme
Yeah.
to get my attention. Something gets to be communicated, changed, healed, loved, accepted, allowed. Starting with myself, really, it's never about another person.
Mm-mm. Jackie, feel free to unmute if
Unmute
you want
yourself.
if you want to say something. I'll definitely acknowledge, if you have some input here. Amanda and I just seem to be kind of going back and forth.
Interesting
Where,
that Amanda was talking about it, the hate being in that 4D.
yeah,
Uh, and I was thinking back to you asked earlier, thinking about my teenage daughter, do we talk about energy? Her, I do, yes. She's much more mature in that area than many kids I know. And and in talking about matching her tone, one of her responses is she's allowing herself to feel things. She used to stuff everything down. So she allows herself, is when I talk to her and things about tone, she's like, I'm allowed to have these emotions. I'm allowed to have these feelings. These are allowed to come out. I'm like, yes, they are. But the connection just made was yes, and they're in the 4D. So is her next choice going to be to go back and get stuck in it somewhere in the polarity of 3D, or to move forward with it and do something differently in the 5D?
Yeah.
So it just made that connection when Amanda brought in that emotional hate feeling is in the 4D. And yes, you feel it. You get to feel it. It's real. It's allowed. But then which direction are you going to choose to go from there?
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah, because we have choice. And I love how you said, like, we have choice to go back to the 3D with it or
Mhm.
manifest and transmute it and transform it into something else and be in the 5D then with it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And none of it's wrong, right? None of it's wrong. Yeah.
School,
What'd you say? Life school?
Earth school.
Oh, Earth school. Yeah. Yeah. So, where in your life are you still speaking as if you have no choice? I just felt that for the whole world. Like,
We
where
could,
are we functioning from where we think we have no choice? Damn it.
yeah, there's a lot
That's
there.
big. You think about the world.
What did you say, Jackie?
That's big when you think about the world.
Yeah.
I think for me, what first came up was, I live by my schedule. So I get the I have to, I
Oh.
have to, I have to be here next. I have to be here next. Even,
Mm.
I have to pick my daughter up from school at this time. And that brings in that anxiety of that is a clear must. But then sitting back into it, it's no, that's the chosen pickup time for my daughter. I could get there earlier. I could even get there later
Yeah.
and it would be fine. There is choice even in some of the things that we feel are concrete have tos.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Um, I think I've talked about it in here before, but Vadim Zealand wrote Reality Transurfing, and he talks about seeing things as like a movie, and like we're not only the actor, but we're like the producer and the director. And so if you were to sit back and go, okay, show me, let me see all the ways that I'm functioning as if I have no choice. And then let me see all the ways that I could choose something different. Yeah, because I just had a good visual of you like I could choose to go early, I could choose to go later. Like there's so many possibilities there, right? Yeah.
And I think all too often the have to and the disconnect from the choices, the fear of the response. So my daughter might be angry if I'm there late,
Oh,
but I may
sister.
choose to do something. And it's even that is a choice to let someone else's response affect you or not. So
Yes.
there is choice in all of it. It's
Yes.
just thinking that it's concrete creates the anxiety.
Um, for me, it was like I had to have the allowance and the willingness to piss people off, like to make, because I hear you, like whenever I was late picking Quinn up from school, oh my God, he'd get so angry. And I had to, I, yeah, you can have those feelings, and I had to be willing to just, it's okay.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, yeah, you're pissed off, but I had to
mm-hmm.
stop and get a coffee. Sorry, not sorry. Right?
Yep.
Oh. And what if we allowed ourselves that type of governance over our lives? Like, yeah, I might piss you off. Mm, go ahead and be pissed.
That in and of itself is cutting off the ego
Yeah, yeah.
because
Hmm.
Yeah.
it's so then I'm that person who's not there on time. I'm that person that blah, blah. No, you just made a choice right now. That's all it is.
Exactly. And in the next
Sorry,
10
Amanda, I didn't
seconds,
mean to cut you off.
yeah, what you just said though, Jackie, like, yes, exactly. And then in the next 10 seconds, you could have a different choice. It's like, I had a coach one time tell me to be undefinable. Like, you're not somebody who shows up late every single time. You show
Mhm.
up late when you need to show up late because it's going to create more.
Mhm.
What were you going to say, Amanda?
Not being victim to other people's reactions and
Yes.
responses and claiming our sovereignty
Yeah.
around that. Such a
Hmm.
big practice for me. For me, it's like, oh, we don't want to upset the apple cart or deal with the fallout of them being upset or me feeling misunderstood, fill in the blank. It locks us into patterns and cuts ourselves off from possibility
Yeah.
of creating more.
Yeah. Well, and I think sometimes we've been talking about emotions, and I wholeheartedly am in alignment with feeling the emotions, but I also think that we get addicted to feeling the emotions. And we use emotions as manipulation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think we have to be aware of that within ourselves too. Like, okay, am I just addicted to bringing that up again because I want to feel that anger, that hate, that frustration? Because sometimes it feels good because you're like making yourself right in the moment in that stuff, you know? And then we use the manipulation piece of it. Like if I whine or
Mhm.
get angry or frustrated enough, yep, somebody's gonna move because they're gonna get annoyed or they're not gonna want to have that happen around them. But to also then to like build the muscle of seeing that, being aware of it.
Yeah, I wonder how many of those patterns of behavior took root in our childhood as survival mechanisms, even.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
like babies learn to cry when they're hungry to manipulate their mom.
Yeah.
Gonna cry. Not consciously, but I do this, doing this results in this. So we latch on to those behaviors. I'm like, oh, well, that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
When there's a more creative way to possibly interact with the world than utilizing our emotional manipulation tactics to get what we want.
Yeah.
I think people are becoming less tolerant of that lately too. People are seeing through it. Like, pff, no, you can have your emotions. Just go do that over there and come back with a clear head and say what you really want.
Right. Speak your truth.
Yeah, that's more an integrity of God choice.
Yeah.
Clean. It's more clean to me.
Yeah. I like this question too. What changes in your body when you say I choose instead of I have to?
Hmm.
That's where that there's more empowerment, less anxiety.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It feels like it brings me back to the present moment
Yeah.
instead of dread.
Yeah, because if you're in I have to, then you're thinking about the past or the future. I'd rather be doing this, or I've got other things that I could be doing, or I can't believe I said yes to doing this. I have to do this now.
Hmm. I choose. I choose. It's way lighter. I choose and more playful.
Yeah.
I'm choosing. I'm just choosing this.
Yeah.
It feels simpler.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, very much so. There's like a flow and an ease to it.
More energetically clean.
Okay.
People want to
Okay.
be around that. What?
This is helping me because I keep saying I have to do more on social media, and it's such a hard choice for me. It's like exhausting. I know I want to do it. Like it's a desire of mine to have more content out there and to have that presence out there. And I've been told that it would be great for me to do that. And I've had people ask me to do it. And I keep saying I have to. Well, now I'm like, what if I chose to?
Or even looking at what are you choosing? I'm
Yeah,
choosing not to do more on social media. And how does that make you feel?
Ding,
it makes me feel
ding,
icky.
ding, 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 ding. We had this conversation like weeks ago.
Yeah,
I'm like, you have a choice.
I know, but it
I'm
didn't
like,
come
do you
in.
want to choose it?
You don't get it till you get it, bitch.
I know.
So here's another one for you,
Yeah,
just totally off topic with that,
yeah.
because we're also talking about the swear in here too, because we all like
Oh,
to
yes,
swear. And then
yes.
it says bad energy for swearing. I
Yeah.
don't have bad energy with swearing, so I'm good with it. But my daughter's friend who went with us last week, it has hearing aids. So my daughter and her sign to each other a lot.
Oh,
So
cool.
this, four fingers, this is bitch. So you
Oh,
go, bitch, please.
bitch, please, bitch, please. I love
Please.
that. I love that.
Please. That was
Um,
one of our, they taught us signs. We had a theme for whatever word was popping up each day. They taught us signs, and one of them was bitch, please.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I want to learn, I've seen it on Instagram and TikTok, but I want to learn fuck around and find out. Why don't you fuck around and find out? Bitch, please. That's awesome. I love that. We're gonna use that. Mm. Well, that's stuff that you could be saying like in a crowd of people, and you can't, you can't like say it out loud, but you can be like, I love it. That's hilarious.
You got an LOL from Alejandra on that one, Jackie.
Oh, she put it in the
LOL.
comments. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah, that paragraph about swear words.
Yeah.
I put a question mark next to it. I'm like, come on, Maureen. It just felt judgy and like cutting off from receiving.
Well, I
From
think
the
that maybe,
potency, there is potency, and it's not bad and wrong.
right.
No, and to me, I was, it was created that those words were bad for some reason or whatever. And I choose not to believe they're bad. And I choose not to have the energy around bad. I mean, it's because some of the things we could say in another country and it's not. So it's like, really, where is that energy?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, it's like the energy behind it when you're saying it. What is your desired spelling, like if you're casting a spell, what are you using it for? Are you trying to hurt someone with it?
Hmm. Is it playful?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, ooh, that'll be a fun one with this group because we all pick our swear words.
Yeah. I kind of just skimmed over it because I was like, bitch, please. Maureen, bitch, please. Yeah. Well, and like I've said, these past 6 weeks that we've been doing this, like take from it what it contributes to you and then create your alchemaic soup life, whatever with it, you know? It's like it's everything isn't for everyone. I think as long and also as long as we're all like aware and practicing leveling up and practicing 5D and practicing our awareness, that there's something there to that. Like to have to follow any one person, like I'm I don't want a guru. I'm not trying to say that someone is absolutely right and true, you know? And I don't want to be that for anyone else either. I can say my points of view. I can say my things that I'm aware of that I know that work for me. And maybe by sharing it, it might help someone else. But I don't want to be like, oh, that's the absolute truth.
Mhm.
Yeah. Doesn't she talk about truth too? Like truth can change.
Mhm.
I didn't underline it. Oh, you may have noticed I didn't say truth last page because there is no truth. Truth is always circumstantial and involves the specific moment. So, yeah, I wrote down what you were saying earlier, Rebecca. Choose every 10 seconds
Mm-hmm.
from the creation zone. And it gives us flexibility coming from open-heartedness and possibilities. And what you were sharing at the beginning of the call around boundaries, it's like we can change our minds.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. You can change your mind.
And choosing what I've been practicing with my splenic authority in human design is paying attention to the information where a decision is a not now, but maybe it will be a yes in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not now, not yet.
Yeah.
I'm a no. I'm a no for now, but that could change. And
Yeah.
giving ourselves the grace to be malleable.
One other thing with truth before I forget, a tool that I learned when I was working with Access Consciousness is if you say truth in your mind before you ask someone a question, you will know if they're speaking their truth or telling a lie. And most of the time, if you say truth before you ask a question, they have a really hard time lying to you.
Mm, that's fun.
Try it. It's fun. It is fun to use that tool.
I know they use it in the entity clearing statement too. When you're asking
Hmm.
questions, truth, who are you? Truth, who are you before that? Truth. And they have to, the entities have to, they can't divert the truth from, is it true
Yeah.
in this moment under this circumstance?
Hmm. But you will definitely feel it in your body if you ask someone a question and they lie to you after you say truth before you ask them. Cool. Does anyone have anything else before we end the call? I want to honor everyone's time. It's almost 2 o'clock, and I apologize again for hopping on late. I just had a client before the call today.
I'll say one more thing
Mm-hmm.
related to what we were talking about like 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a talk and I can't remember who it was, it doesn't matter. But you're asking a question, where does that come from? Maybe about it was about swear words. And I heard the word culture. And what these people were saying is there's a cult in culture. Like we're programmed through culture for right, wrong, good, bad. The cult of culture. So,
Yeah.
in what ways can we extra extradite? Is that a word? Extradite?
Extradite?
Extradite ourselves from the expectations of culture
Yeah.
and be weird.
Right. Stay weird.
Stay weird, Asheville.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all I wanted to add was that culture piece.
But be careful because weird is a third dimensional word. One of no words on page 122.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
she talks about weird and strange and
Should
not
be
using
interesting, unusual, amazing.
See, and that's what
Because
weird
weird
means to
gives a
me.
good bad, apparently.
weird.
Okay, Maureen. Mm, mm.
And the word strange also has negative, strange.
See, to me, weird, that's the definition of weird. It means that to me. But
Some specific tips. Next, I invite you. Well, it was an invitation. She wasn't demanding us or commanding, but in an invitation. So now we're all going to pay attention to when people say the word weird. Hopefully, our funniest thing,
okay, I'm sorry, where did you see that, Jackie?
page 118,
118. Okay.
under
I
some
saw it,
specific
I
tips.
don't know, maybe, I don't know if mine on the table on 122,
Okay.
weird is in there, down towards the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah.
yeah, and strange. Yeah.
But then something, as I was reading all of this, one of one of her next like paragraphs said something about something crazy. I was like, well, if weird's not allowed, why is crazy allowed?
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, I've been in my life when I'm practicing things, I've been so like stickler on it that it starts to get like
Mm-hmm.
icky. So I think we just have to give grace, right?
Mhm.
I think I think more so too when you're using language, even if you say I don't understand, because you said don't say that, and I think it's the energy behind it. Like, are you saying I don't understand because you're cutting yourself off from your knowing, or are you saying it's sort of like a question like, I don't understand.
Instead of making a decision right away.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like I need to know more. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe we do have to be that like so on it with our language. I don't know. I'll have to feel into that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming on the call today. It was good to see you. And I'll see you all next week. Same time, same space. Chapter 7.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Much love.
Bye.
Bye.